What up, what up, what up, y'all? It's Thursday Give Back Day. It's your boy B coming at you live again. I'm coming with pure content, pure free information. You can just call me your university, the Brian Harris University. And as I feel the need to pour into people and give back, I look at it as my way of throwing the rope back. So that's why I do so many free videos and free information and do my best to flood you with information so that if you do sit up and watch, Facebook all day, you come across my feed, you're going to get some value. And that's my thing. I love giving value to people, and I want to always be known for over-delivering on value. So for those of you that enjoy this, share this information with other people that that needs information, uplifting, positive quotes, uplifting information about investing and real estate and all of the above. So I wanted to talk to you about this. One thing that I had to transition in my mind when I first started investing. Shout out to Todd Sherman, the best real estate agent in the city of Memphis, probably the Tennessee. Todd Sherman, my guy. He's the one who took the time out and poured into me when I asked him to, as a mentor and as a friend. And this was about 14, 15 years ago. And so I really appreciate Todd Sherman. Look him up, T-A-J, like Taj Mahal Sherman. If you need a real estate agent in Memphis, make sure you holler at my guy Taj, man. He put me on, and he told me, Brian, once you do 2 or 3 of them, you got it. And that's exactly what happened. So I wanted to make sure I give a shout out. But when I first started investing in real estate, tell you a quick story. I was nervous just like anybody else would. So what I'm doing now is I'm throwing the road back. I'm thinking about how I was when I first started. It was a nervous thing. I was like, oh my God, I had a little bit of money to play with. And so I was nervous, man. I was nervous about using my hard-earned money that I had saved up in my bank account, right? And, that's my savings, So what I had to realize was that saving money was riskier than investing money was. And I'm going to tell you why. Saving for a purpose or saving for a rainy day. So understand the difference. If you're saving for a rainy day, you're going to end up using your savings for that rainy day. And that's the thing that most people are taught to save for. Save for if something happens. And that is not the reason to save. You save so that you can invest it. And so I learned that saving money is riskier because I did the math. And I always do this in my seminars and my presentations. If you haven't done the math on your life, like for instance, let's just say average, if a person makes, I'm going to give it America the benefit of the doubt. Let's just say the average person in America, the average person in Memphis makes about $21,000 a year. But the average person in America makes about, let's just say $5,000 a month. Just use this as an example. That's $60,000 a year. Let's just say the average person is doing great and they save 50% of their income. They save 50% of their income. That means that if you're making $5,000 a month, you're saving $2,500 a month. That puts you roughly at about $30,000 a year that you're saving. So because I've already inflated the amount of money that people are going to be saving, so you're saving $30,000 a year because you're saving half of your income. We know most people are not doing that. Let's just say we would span that over the course of 30 years. I do numbers in my head like Rain Man, but we would span it over the course of 30 years. But we're not going to do that. We're going to span that over the course of 10 years, okay? So 10 years, and so that puts you at $300,000 savings. $300,000 savings, and then you retire. Let's say you're age 60, 65, 70, and you retire. Well, we know that the inflation causes gas to go up, food prices to go up, clothes to go up, medicine costs to go up, all of these different things. We know that inflation causes these things. So that means that the money that I'm saving today, based on my calculations of today's living, most people are saving thinking that the cost of living is going to be the same tomorrow or in a year from now or in 10 years or in 20 years. So let's just say your savings is $300,000 in the next 30 years and you're good to go. Well, we know that your rent is probably going to be 5 to 10 times more. Your car notes are going to probably be 5 to 10 times more. Just look at the average statistics of the past and you can see this. So let's just say whatever it takes you to live off of now, I'm just going to say we're going to up it about 3 to 4 times. But I'm going to do, for the sake of math, I'm just going to say if your cost of living is now $2,000 a month, let's just say it's going to cost you in 10, 20, 30 years, $6,000 a month to live, because most people don't take care of themselves. They don't eat the right food. So you're going to probably have a high medical bill, insurance bill, and all this other stuff. So let's just say it takes you $5,000 a month to live. That's going to put you at $60,000 of living expenses. And of course, home care, if you have to get put into an assisted living home or whatever the case may be, that's going to cost you roughly, right now it's about $3,500 to $5,000 $55,000, $5,500, and that's in a low area. So if you want to live in a nice suburban area, it's going to probably cost you about $7,500. But we won't go there. $5,000 a month to live, right? Let's go back. It costs you $5,000 a month to live. Well, now if you're saving for this rainy day, which is gonna come if that's what you're saving for, I want to tell you, you don't save for rainy days. You save for cash flow so that you can invest in cash flow, and you don't retire so that you can live off your savings. You want to retire and your income is supposed to increase. We'll talk about that in another video. So $5,000 a month is what you're paying when you 30 years from now, 20 years from now, whatever. $60,000 a year is what your expenses are going to be. Now, $60,000 is what your expense is going to be a year. That means if you got $300,000 saved, no more money coming in 5 years, you're going back to work. In 5 years, you're going back to work. So what I had to realize when I was sitting down with my mentor at the time, I'm like, okay, if I keep saving, I'm not going to save enough to retire. Because here's the thing. Things do happen. Life does happen. Fun happens. Shit. Sometimes I just want to spend money just because I want to spend money. So if I know that my habits are not really going to change, it's harder to change something that you're speeding towards in a direction. You have to be met with the equal or opposite force, and it's really hard for people to change habits. So if I know that my habits, I love entertainment, I love fun, I love seeking happiness, right? So $300,000 is going to be wiped out in 5 years. That means saving money for a rainy day is riskier than saving money to invest. So now what I had to transition my mind, and I want you to do as well, is I had to transition my form of thinking to where when I buy a house for investment purposes. So if I have, $20, $30, $40, $50, $100,000 saved up, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to spend money, I'm scared. What I had to look at is, okay, if I buy a house for $50,000, boom, I'm transferring money from one bank account to the next. What am I saying? The house that I invest in is another bank account. Why is that? You got to ask yourself this question. Why would banks prefer to lend you money on a house? They would prefer to lend you money on a house. Look at this. Insurance companies will insure a house quicker than they will insure your own business idea. Listen to this. I heard this somewhere. Banks would rather lend, this is it right here. Banks would rather lend you money to buy a house or an investment faster than they would to buy own stock in their own institution. Meaning a bank trusts real estate more than they trust their own business stock. The stock, you can buy stocks. If I go to Bank of America, I can buy a Bank of America stock. If I went to a bank and said, hey, look, can you lend me some money so that I can invest more money in your stock? Hell no. They're going to say, hell no. But if I go to that bank and I say, I got this amazing investment property that I found, it's an amazing deal, can you lend me money? 90% of the time, they're going to say yes. So understanding that whatever banks are investing in, that's why I need to have my money. So I transfer my thinking to understand that if I invest in real estate, I'm simply transferring money from my bank account, my savings account, to another bank account. A house is a bank account. And then, so now when it comes down to paying your workers, if I have to pay my workers may charge me $30,000, $40,000 to fix up a house. Well, now I'm investing not in that worker, but I'm transferring more money into bettering my savings account. So that why? So that I can get a higher return on my investment. I understand that if I save in a bank account, then my savings is going to pay me 0.001%. If I invest in a property, my properties are going to pay me anywhere between $3,000 to $10,000 a month. So understanding the difference. So if I do that 2 or 3 times, I can literally, now here's where we do the math. What you want to do is we have this amazing financial statement that we use to help people and all of our clients get out of what we call the rat race. Understanding what the rat race is. And you don't need 1 million properties. Share this video if you know somebody that needs it. You don't need 1 million properties to literally get out of the rat race. I want you to understand something. You don't have to have $1 million to live like a millionaire. This is the amazing thing. When you have more money coming in from investments, from residual income, different things that you've made smart choices in to invest to pay you while you're not around it. If you have more money coming in from that source or stream of income than you do in expenses, you are free. You are mentally free. That means, let's do the math. Let's see how fast we are getting clients out of the rat race with using our strategy. So I'm going to give you a prime example. If you have an expense, if your expenses, when I say your expenses, your car note, your house note, your bills, all of these things, let's just say they add up to $3,000 a month. $3,000 a month. And that means that you're going to work every day, 5 days a week, 8 hours a day to make $3,000 a month so that you can pay those bills. And you may have a little bit of money left over. Everything that you're working for, you may have to spend it on bills. So that means that you have to trade your time for what? Money. That means if you don't go to work, you don't get paid. If you stop working, that means that your expenses are going to eat away at you. So what we teach our people how to do is say, look, if you think investing is risky, keep doing that. Keep doing that and see how risky that lane is over what I'm talking to you about. So now when our clients come to us, what we teach them to do is this. Once you identify what your expenses are, then what we do is we show you specific investing strategies, how to acquire assets. And we have this unique program that we do with our clients to where now one asset can pay a client anywhere between $1,000 to $2,000 a month. So now, understanding that if one asset is going to bring in residual income where people are paying rent, passive income, the traditional ways that most people rent is not what we're talking about. We're talking about the type of rentals that we do. So if one asset pays you $2,000 a month, then if you get two assets and your expenses are $3,000 a month, that means you're making $4,000 a month. That means you have $1,000 above your expenses. That now, if you want to go to work or not, or somebody's talking shit at work, you can come in and say something if you want to, right? You can kind of come in with a different level of, you need me, I don't need you. Not that you would do anything crazy, but now when you go to work, now you ask yourself, am I working because I love being here, or am I working because I have to do this? And so when you free your mind up mentally to where you no longer have to do it, you got to ask yourself, why am I spending my 8 hours here when I can be free doing whatever I want to? And this is one thing that Dame Dash said. Can somebody tell you fired? Can somebody tell you fired? This is something that I had to ask myself years ago when I decided to go this journey. And if the answer is yes, he said in this interview, and I'm not saying this to be funny, but he said in this interview, if somebody can tell you fired, he said, nobody can tell me that. And I take pride in understanding that nobody can tell me that I'm fired. That resonated with my being. Nobody can say that to me. I make my own way. And what the reason why I do these videos is to encourage you that you can make your own way too. I hustle for my last name, not my first. I hustle for my last name, not my first. My legacy, guys. So walking into work like that felt great. You guys watch right. So guys, here's the thing. If you want more information on this, the first thing that I would encourage you to do is, number one, get your mind right, man. Like, I can't put enough emphasis on the power of developing your mind. Before you do anything, before you make a move, before you buy my $2,500 mentoring course, before you buy my $10,000 mentoring course, before you buy my $100,000 mentoring course, before you spend that kind of money, I'm telling you to invest $1 a day in yourself. $1 a day in yourself. $30 a month, man. TheHarrisMastermind.com. Because if you don't have your mind right, you ain't gonna be successful no way. That's the number one thing. For $30 a month, invest in your inner growth. And when you invest in your inner growth, then you will have the mind development to accept bigger and better opportunities that come your way. Your awareness will expand to recognize opportunities as they're all around you. When your awareness and when your mindset unlocks and shifts, you start to see solutions in the problems that you were facing. You start to see a problem, and instantly you ascend to the solution of the problem. And the solution of any problem, the person who answers the most problems or gives the solutions to problems, is the person who becomes the wealthiest person. So you don't have to compete anymore and try to become the wealthiest person in America. You don't have to become the wealthiest person in Memphis or whatever city you from. Guys, you can be 100th place in this economy. You can be 10,000th place in this economy and be winning for yourself and your family and your friends financially. So you don't have to be that version of yourself to think that you got to be number one anymore. We live in an economy right now to where if you're in 1 millionth place, you're doing just fine, guys. You are in America, guys. You got to understand that. There ain't no chains on your arms. There ain't no chains on your hands. You got your own chains on your own mental mindset. And that's black, that's white, that's red, that's yellow. If you're making an excuse and you ain't making a move or making money, it's your fault. It ain't Donald Trump's fault. It ain't President Barack Obama's fault. It ain't your boss's fault. It ain't your mama's fault. It ain't your daddy's fault. It ain't nobody's fault but you. You've made every choice in your life to get to where you are. What I'm saying is, every man, every woman is self-made, but it's time for everybody to stand up and take accountability of it. Every man and every woman is self-made, but only the successful own up to it, right? What I'm telling you is if you own up to understanding that you are where you are because you chose to be there, that's when your life is going to change. You have the power to shift out of wherever you are by simply making a move, making a choice in the right direction. And here's the thing, it all leads to the right place. Some roads that you take just take longer. Take a choice in a direction. If it ain't been working the way you've been doing it, the definition of insanity is to keep doing the same shit over and over and over again, but expecting something different to happen. If you've been doing something, here's the thing, even if you haven't been doing something, if you've been doing something or you've been watching your parents do something or your friends do something or your co-workers do something, I want you to look at this. If you know how many people are working at FedEx right now, nothing knocking against FedEx, nothing knocking against people who work at FedEx. I'm just using as an example. But there's a lot of ambitious children with inspiration. When I say children, I'm talking about in your 20s and your early 30s. I'm a child. So there's a lot of children that didn't have the intentions of being at FedEx for 30 years. And so they went in saying, okay, look, in between jobs, I'm going here just for a little bit, because I'm trying to find somebody that'll hire me for a degree. You got a lot of people that's doing this. They had intentions of only being there for a couple weeks, a couple months. And here it is. It's 15 years later. I'm 38 years old. It's 15, 20 years later, and they're still at FedEx. What I want to tell you is this. Look at your coworkers, the ones that are 60 and 70. They had the same thought process as you. They didn't want to be there throwing boxes for 30, 40 years. They got caught up. They got caught up in a mental state of mind in a loop. What I'm telling you is if you won't make a change right now for the better, if you don't shift what you're thinking about and get out of that shit, you're going to be looking at yourself. If you see a coworker who's been there for 30 years, you looking at your life. What I want you to do is, if you don't believe me, go hang around them on their day off. See what they doing. Go hang around them after work. That's what you're going to be doing in 30 years. I guarantee you. Save this video. Watch it in 30 years and see that I didn't predict your future. I didn't predict it, you predicted it. So I'm saying, mimic your lifestyle after the people that are making the moves in the direction that you want to go. If you watching videos like this, motivational videos, and you go show it to a friend, they say, oh, that stuff ain't real. Oh, they ain't doing nothing. Oh, they just flogging for Instagram. Well, you know what? What your ass doing? That's what I would say. What the hell you doing? You sitting here beside me watching it. Well, at least if they are flogging for the damn gram or Facebook or whatever they doing, it look like they making moves. Let me see if I can do the same thing, and then forces you to take a step in the right direction. That's big facts. Don't go, if you got a big dream and you trying to help somebody, what I'm telling you is, the way Harriet Tubman, like I said, black, white, red, yellow, but the way Harriet Tubman got out of slavery was first she got her damn self out of slavery. She got herself out. When she got herself out of slavery, that's when she did. Then she went back and she got her family out of slavery. You get what I'm saying? Black, white, this apply to all races. Then, when she got her family out, she's like, all right, y'all good over here. I'm going to go back and I'm going to get a few more people. So that's what I've been doing. I got my damn self out of mental slavery. I got my family out of mental slavery. Now I'm going out and getting other family members out of mental slavery. Now I'm getting close friends out. So it's levels to this. And so now as I help other people wake up, I'm teaching them, get yourself out completely, residually, then get your damn family out completely, residually, then go help a friend. Don't be trying to go. You can't get out of a ditch, pimping, if you right there in the ditch with them. You understand? So as you watch these motivational videos, as you attempt to encourage yourself by staying in, and then you try to show the negative person sitting next to you and they talk shit, you immediately need to cut the sever off. Disconnect yourself from those type of people. Never tell them again until you come back to reach back to get them out, because you are where you desire to be. That is the only time you do that. Until then, keep your inner vision to yourself and surround yourself with the people that are taking you where you want to go, guys. It's your boy B dropping this nugget on y'all, man. I had to deliver it. I had to get it out to you. Share this video with somebody that you know that this will bless them if they let it. And let's win big, guys. Go to theharrismastermind.com. If you ain't got the Google money to pay for mentoring, amazing mentoring, just start getting your mindset right, developing and working on your mind. Not just one day. I got tons of videos in there, tons of drills that you to do for you to exercise. You don't do this for one day. This becomes a lifestyle. This is becoming something that you do every second of the day. And when you begin to work on your mind, do you hear any? When I'm in manifestation mode, I don't play no radio. I don't play no TV. I don't watch anything but motivation that's going to keep lifting me higher and higher. And if a person is talking stupid shit around me, I disconnect them. I block their number. Understand that. I don't talk to people and I don't let people interrupt my day. You understand? I don't give a damn if they family, friends, loved ones. They ain't too much of a loved one if they interrupted my vibe. So don't let them kill your vibe, guys. Whatever it is, cut them off. Cut them off until you get yourself out of mental slavery. Because right now, you can't handle it. You can't handle a person being negative around you if you are in the mud, the psychological mud, and you're stuck. It's like quicksand. So you got to cut them ties, guys. So when I tell you about saving to invest, when I tell you about taking a risk, the risk is if you stay where you at. The risk is if you keep doing what the hell you doing right now. The risk is if you don't change your mindset. The risk is if you want to see where you gonna be, look at your surroundings. The risk is if you planned on getting working at a company for a few weeks or a few months till you got your shit together, looking for a degree, or because you couldn't get a job because your degree wasn't hiring at the time, and you still there 10 years later. That's the risk. That's the risk, guys. That's the joke. So understand that. Look at your peers, man. That person is like, oh, you ain't gonna do that. You know, I tried stuff like that. The problem is, if you hear a motherfucker tell you that I tried to do something, that's the problem. The problem is they tried. What I'm telling you, one of my coaches, Coach Steve Haywood, I'm a football player, y'all. My coach, Coach Steve Haywood, he told me this. He had told me to do a drill or a move. And I said, man, he's still coaching now in college or something. But Coach Steve Haywood, he was my defensive line coach, one of the best coaches in the game, because he taught me here too. I said, man, I'm going to try to do it, coach. He says, look here, son. He said, trying is the lowest level of commitment you can give me. Trying to do so. He said, I want you to try. He said, try to pick up this piece of paper. He said, try to pick it up. Try to pick up this piece of paper. And I reached it. He said, no, don't pick it up. Try to pick it up. You can't try to do shit. He said, you either do it or you don't do it. But there is no try. So remember that, guys. Remember that. You can't try to do nothing. You gonna do it, and you make up in your mind with conviction in your being, this is what I'm going to do. Seek out the right people that can help you in your environment. And if they are where you are, they probably can't help you, but they can maybe point you. And the thing is, I'm going to tell you something. I'm very careful to listen to a person who's sitting back not doing shit. If a person ain't moving, they can't even give me advice. Don't tell me what you can do. Even if a person is acting like they doing something, I'm going to listen to them because they at least got the sense enough to act like they moving. Do you understand that? I don't give a damn if they flogging for the gram. If they act like they moving, I want to be around them. Because they're going to put me in motion and put me around the right people that's going to make me move. You get what I'm saying? It's one thing to just want to move, but if you're around people who acting like they moving, guess what? That means they moving. So remember that, guys. It's your boy B. Share this video with as many people as you can. Talk to you guys later. Have an absolutely amazing day.